Hey guys, it's Kirby here with Apex Credit and Real Estate, also known as the Credit Repair Realtor, and today I'm going to be discussing with you trade lines. And this is because over the last few days, my partner and I have received a lot of inquiries regarding what trade lines are, how are they beneficial, and how one could go about purchasing them. So I wanted to do a quick video just briefly explaining trade lines and how they may benefit you. So essentially, a trade line is just another term used for accounts that are being reported on your credit reports by creditors. They're no different from a student loan account, a mortgage account, a vehicle loan, credit cards. Those are all considered to be trade lines. The only thing is that consumers usually refer to them as accounts, and the term trade line is usually used in the credit repair industry. So you're probably asking, well, if a trade line is something that I may already have reporting on my credit report, or I could probably apply for myself, what would be the point of me buying from you, Kara, let alone anyone else? And I'll explain that. When you're looking to build or maintain your credit, you should know that your scores are made up of 5 different factors. And the 2 main factors are payment history, which accounts for 35%, and credit utilization, which accounts for 30%. So those 2 factors alone make up the bulk of what it takes to improve or maintain credit. Now I'll break that down a little bit more. When we talk about payment history, what we're basically discussing is, are your accounts being paid on time? Do you have any late payments? Do you have any accounts that are currently delinquent? And do you have any collection accounts? When we're talking about credit utilization, we're basically saying that all of your revolving accounts, like your credit cards, are the limits compared to the balance below, are the balance compared to the limit below the suggested 30% credit utilization ratio. This basically means you don't want to max out your credit cards and you don't want to put too high of a balance on your credit cards. You want to stay below the 30% credit utilization ratio. So if you can do these 2 things, you've already done more than 50% of what it takes to build or maintain credit. The problem is that those who usually have challenged credit and are looking to build and maintain credit cannot get any points in this area because they don't have any credit, or the credit that they have may be delinquent or very, very derogatory. So this is where a trade line will come into play, because instead of you attempting to apply for credit so that you can build credit and constantly being denied due to your poor credit history or not having any credit history at all, and then eventually your inquiries are increased, which then decreases your credit that you have already, because inquiries do contribute to your credit for 10%. So the more you apply for credit, you can decrease your scores. So instead of doing all of that in a desperate attempt to build credit, you can purchase a trade line. And what a trade line does is a guaranteed approved account that is going to report on your credit history. So not is it guaranteed approval for that account, but it should be guaranteed positive credit history with low credit balances. So this is going to give you that credit in those areas of where you need to build credit. And you don't have to worry about continuing to apply and get denied, when you can just purchase a trade line and benefit from the positive credit history and the low credit balances. And then once your scores start to increase and rise and they're overall improving, you then can go on and apply for credit on your own organically. Some people like to use this credit or trade lines like in the process if they're trying to purchase a home to boost their scores a little bit more, to get them a better interest rate, or if you, like I said, are having a hard time building credit because you can't get credit. This is a good way to get your scores up there so you can go and apply for credit on your own. Not only does it boost your credit, but likely when you do go to apply for credit on your own, creditors are going to look at your credit and they're going to say, okay, this person has been able to maintain a credit limit of $5,000 or $20,000. So I think we can trust them with a higher balance, a higher limit than what we typically give people who are starting to build credit. And that's usually around $300 to $1,000, which is not very high. So if you are attempting to build credit organically, you can expect to receive very low credit limits. And this is because they have to trust you. They have nothing to go back on unless you have past credit history hint, hint, trade lines, and you can show, hey, I've been paying this one time. I have no late payments. I don't max out my credit cards or my accounts. You can trust me with a larger amount. So that's another reason why a trade line may be beneficial. One more thing that I wanted to note is that I get a lot of questions like, well, I heard that this can impact me from purchasing a home. I honestly use trade lines for my clients who are looking to purchase anywhere from 6 months to a year, and I've never had an issue. When you're purchasing a trade line, you can ask the person that you're purchasing it from, is this an account that may be possibly identified as a trade line? Meaning, remember I said in the beginning of the video, a trade line is just another name for an account, right? So when you look on your credit report, you can look for the names of your trade lines, which will, for example, be like Macy's, Walmart, maybe Toyota Financial. These are things that are reporting on your credit report. It may be a little suspicious if you try to buy a trade line from someone who is going to report the trade line on your credit report. It's like, we sell trade lines wholesale.com type of thing. I would suggest refraining from that. The trade lines that I purchase are reported by a financial institution, so they look no different from a bank reporting on your credit report. So I guarantee you won't have that issue with me, but I just wanted to throw that bonus tip out there. So that's something that you may want to consider. But essentially, all in all, I've never had an issue where it has impacted anyone negatively from stopping them from purchasing a home, let alone any other financial goals that they were trying to achieve at that time. So I hope this has answered your question or given you a brief overview about trade lines. If you think this is something you may be interested in, please feel free to reach out to my office. If you have a little bit more questions, I would love to answer them for you. If you know someone looking to buy or sell, or maybe just improve their credit, I am your girl. I look forward to helping anyone, and I hope to be speaking with you soon. Bye-bye.